Okay, so the next movie that I'm going to be reviewing is my first Superman experience on the big screen, and I've been waiting like nearly my entire life that for this day for that day to come. Like I want to have my first movie experience, first Superman movie experience on the big motherfucking big screen. Damn it! And it felt like it was never gonna come, and then this movie comes along, and we almost got that abomination of Nicolas Cage. I'm glad they did not go that route. I mean, as many flaws as this movie had, it's still way better than the alternative. I would pick this movie over Nicolas Cage's route any day of the week, hands down. So with that being said, I did, I had concerns about it at first, like when they casted Brandon Routh, I was like, I don't know, I don't know. And then when we saw him in the suit for the first time in the official pictures, I'm like, what? I'm not sure how I feel about the suit. And then as it gets closer and closer to the release date, when it starts showing footage, I warmed up to the suit, and I'm like, okay, it looks pretty cool, pretty damn cool. And the trailers were getting good, and the final trailer for this movie got me so pumped. I'm like, holy shit, I'm ready for this fucking movie now. And then when it comes out, now it's just like a pretty basically a romance drama pretty much with very little action in it. And that's not even my issue with it really. I mean, my issue with it was that Lois Lane's child ends up being Superman's child. I'm like, what? I mean, I always had an issue with Superman being a father. I'm not saying that he does not deserve that kind of happiness, but he is not fit for that kind of happiness. It's just not meant for him. He is not meant for that life. I mean, he is Superman, for crying out loud. And so that's clarification there that this movie ignores parts 3 and 4. So that's one good thing about this movie. And when they were throwing like a couple hints that he may be Superman's child, like when he looks at the kryptonite all funny, like I'm like, oh come on, please don't. And then Lois is in danger, and then she's about almost this close to being killed, and then the little boy's having an asthma attack, and then all of a sudden a piano comes flying across the room, and then she looks over at him, and then his arms are out, like, and then his asthma attacks stop. I'm like, oh, why? I mean, I told myself just enjoy the movie. Just enjoy the movie. I didn't allow myself to have any outbursts. I mean, but I'm like, fuck. But and another thing is that I think is pretty dumb is how Lex Luthor manages to get the hold of the Kryptonian crystals. I'm like, what? I mean, only Superman should be able to get a hold of them. Only he should have access to them. Like only he can get them. I mean, how can a regular human being get access to Kryptonian crystals? I mean, like, that was really stupid to me, and I mean, it makes me wish that they went with the route of having a door constructed on the Fortress of Solitude and a key that only Superman can lift up and unlock the door and just walk in, or have some or fingerprint identification where only his fingerprints can open the door or something like that. Something. I mean, you need to have a door on this thing. Like, oh, I'm sorry, the door is open. I figure I'd take these crystals and be on my way. But come on, what the fuck? And Superman does not have his priorities straight in this movie. Like, especially after he finds out that Lex Luthor is out of prison and he finds out that the Kryptonian crystals are gone. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing about it? It's like you're not you're not putting your right foot in until like shit starts hitting the fan. Like, oh, okay, Lois this is kidnapped. Let me go save her. Oh, there's an earthquake coming to Metropolis. Oh, let me put a stop to that. And then I'm like, and then he spends a little bit of the movie stalking her, like when he's just X-raying her and eavesdropping on the conversations that they're having about him. Well, technically they're talking about Superman, so I mean, basically, that is basically his business, since his name is being mentioned into the mix of that conversation. So, with that being said, they made it his business just by talking about him. But I do love every scene where he's flying. I mean, like with the technology that we have now, seeing Superman fly, like every sequence where he flew, I enjoyed, especially in the first flying sequence where he saves the plane and Lois is in it. And from beginning to end of that scene, I enjoyed. I can watch that scene like a dozen times. And I gotta say, like the casting of Lex Luthor was a perfect choice. I'm like, yeah, he can be one scary motherfucker. I mean, Kevin Spacey, but even though he was really, really goofy like through most of the movie, he had some moments where he's scary. Like, okay, dude, back up, bro. Especially in his only scene with Superman. I'm like, holy shit, this dude is fucking psycho. And when his henchmen are jumping him and beating him up and they're playing sad music, I'm like, this is giving me the feels. I'm feeling very uncomfortable. I feel like I'm watching Passion of the Christ right now. I mean, the way they're beating up on him, and then you got Kitty, over there crying as this is happening, and then drowning his head in a puddle and little puddles, and then you stab him with the kryptonite shard or whatever, and hearing him scream as that's happening, like it's just deep. It's just fucking deep to the point where you think that Superman is a goner and there's no way he's gonna come back from this. And as it went towards the end of the movie, they gave us that impression that they were gonna kill him off and then pass on the legacy to the child. When he walks over to the suit and he's rubbing on the emblem and everything as Superman is laying in his hospital bed, like, don't do that. I'm like, don't do that. But thankfully enough, they did not kill off Superman, and with I guess people not enjoying it as much as the studio was hoping for, I guess they decided to squash the whole thing of moving forward with the franchise and start over from scratch. And that was a smart move. I mean, I still enjoyed this movie, even though it had flaws, and I hated some ideas that they threw in there. I wish they didn't, especially with, Superman being a dad. Like, what the fuck? Ugh. So with that all being said, overall, this movie earns a solid 3 chair spins out of 5. 1, 2, 3. So, but yeah, I still, like I said, I would choose this movie over the alternative the movie that we almost had, with Nicolas Cage, Superman Lives. No, I choose this movie over that any day, hands down. So, we're pretty much at the end of Superman's side of the countdown for Batman v Superman. So let me know in the comment section how you feel about this movie. Which Superman movie do you think is the worst? Let me know in the comment section. If you enjoyed my review, thumb up this video. Make sure you click subscribe if you're new to the channel. And before I sign off, I can understand why people hated it. Where they said, "Oh, there's no action. All there is mushy, lovey-dovey stuff." And they're like, "Why doesn't Superman fight anybody? Like, why is there any fight scenes?" That's when we get Man of Steel, and then and they're not even satisfied with that. But I'll talk more about that in that review. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.